What up? This is on the Sick One to Sobriety. My name is Rob, and I'm an alcoholic and drug addict. Today, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. We're not going to talk about me. We're actually going to talk about one of my friends because I seen him go from up here all the way down. I seen him crash and burn. And it's weird to see somebody else go through that because I went through it, my own point of view, but to see somebody else go through it, it hurts just a little bit because I consider this guy one of my good friends at some point in my life. And I just want to know and I hope that he's doing okay right now. And but my goal for this story is for somebody out there to be listening and hopefully be in one of the first stages that my homie went through and be like, man, maybe I should stop right here because I'm already at this stage. I don't need those extra 5 or 6 years of suffering, of loss, of hopelessness. I could stop right here and just build myself a new life and do my thing. I just hope that's the ultimate goal right there, right? So let's get into it. It's my homie B. Got introduced to us by his homie W. Now, at that time, I used to kick it a lot with my friend. We used to hang out in his room, make music, smoke out. So the homie W came through with his cousin B. We're all posted having a good time. Agarrando pinche cotorreo perrón. We're all laughing, not giving a fuck about life. But we clicked. It was a good vibe, honestly. Pero a veces se agarra cura. Not all the time it's all depressing. Sometimes it's fun. And the homie B obviously liked it. So when it was time to wrap things up, when there was time for people to go their own way, the homie B asked my homie from the house, like, hey, do you mind if I hit you up on my own, like after work or before I go to work? And I looked at my friend like, oh, because it's very random that people ask that. I mean, people do, but it's just really random. And my friend was like, yeah, hit me up, dog. Here's my phone number. Call me whenever. He's like, all right, cool. That same freaking night, that dude B comes through, and I'm still I'm still there. B went to work, did his whole ass shift, and I'm still there, posted up with the homie, doing absolutely nothing. I even went to go open the door for the homie B. He's like, "Damn, fool, you still here?" I was like, "I'm still here, dog. I practically live here, fool," and I practically did. I used to eat there. I even slept there before. I used to on the first name basis with everybody. Like everybody. There was a point in time where I just used to walk in the house. They didn't care. I was part of the family. They're like, oh, it's just Rob. It was cool. Well, I thought it was cool. So the homie B comes through. He's like, oh, dang, he was surprised to see me still there. Because he wasn't up on game about how this shit really works. And he kicked it all night with us. It tripped me out. Like, hey, fool, you don't gotta go home. He was probably he was probably thinking the same thing about me. Like, damn, fucking Rob, don't you gotta take your big ass home? But I was thinking the same thing about him. And I asked him, like, hey, fool, you don't gotta go home or nothing. And then he's like, no. He's like, my wife ain't tripping. And I was like, oh, married. Your wife is definitely tripping that you're not home, fool. Like, what good wife wouldn't trip that their husband's not home? But then I thought about it. He's lying. He's a goddamn liar, just like the all of us. I'm assuming he never told me what lie he said to her, but I'm pretty sure it's along the lines of, because I've used this lie plenty of times, telling his wife that, oh, babe, the guy from the graveyard shift called off, so I gotta cover his shift. Don't wait up for me. I'll see you and the kids tomorrow. Damn. So it turns out this motherfucker has kids too. Off that first night, he decided to put his wife and kids to the side to come kick it with two dudes and smoke out and waste money all night. Money that he used that money to smoke us out, and I appreciate it. But money that he could have used to pay for gas for his car, gas for his wife's car, some type of fucking stuff for school, for supplies for the kids, anything besides using it on drugs. But he made his choice. And I thought it was fucked up, but I was just like, I get it. I understand completely. I mean, I'm not really complaining too much because I'm getting smoked out for free. So we're gonna fast forward. Time progresses. His addiction starts getting worse. That I noticed because since I'm there every day, I notice him coming over a lot more. But what tripped me out is that one day he came through without a uniform on, and it was a weekday, and I was already kind of used to like him working weekdays. So I asked him, like, what's up, fool? You not going to work? He's like, nah, actually, I called off today. I don't feel too good. I was like, oh, the fucking withdrawals, homie. You got my Lias. He's like, I don't feel good today. I'm just gonna hang out with you guys, smoke out. Cool. And he's like, my wife thinks I'm going to work. Come on, dog. At least tell your wife you called off, fool. You know what I mean? But he's like, nah, I can't. So we kick it. We do our thing. Later on, the week, 2 weeks, now he's having issues at home. His fucking descent into the deep end of drug addiction was quick. Hold on, let me change the microphone hands. Was quick. All of a sudden, he's not going home anymore. He kicked it with us one night, 2 nights. And I'm like, hey, dog, aren't you married, fool? Obviously, it's none of my business, but I'm a chismoso and shit. So I like getting into people's business and shit, you know? So I'm just like, hey, fool, you gotta go home? Like, don't you gotta take your kids to school? And he's like, I'm having too much issues at home, dog. Like, all my wife wants to do is argue with me. And I'm like, well, no shit. You're a problem. You're going home high as fuck and trying to be around your kids high as fuck. Like, your wife doesn't want your kids to see you high as fuck. Like, come on, dog. Like, fucking think about it. But a tweaker and an alcoholic never thinks logically. They just think me, 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 me. So he was worried about his wife giving him a hard time, not the other way around. He was worried about what his kids were going to think. And I understand that. But shouldn't you stop what you're doing and put your kids ahead of everything? You would, a normal person would. But I've met, besides my homie B, I've met way too many parents that put drugs before their kids. But that's besides the point. So now, see, my homie's job in the house was to take his kids to school in the morning because his wife goes to work. Now he's skipping out on that too. He'd rather be with us than take his kids to school. Now he was missing school drop-offs. Then he got switched over to school pickups, and he couldn't even make it to school pickups. So now he's not even a part of the family no more. So of course his wife is going to argue and talk all kinds of shit to him when he's home. So why even go home? That was his mentality. Why should I go home if all my wife is going to do is be on my case? So now all of a sudden, weeks pass by. My homie says, my wife is leaving the house and she's taking the kids. I can no longer see my kids. And you know what he does? He decided to choose drugs over his fat damn family. He wants to be with us. Why? I don't know. But he has a family at home that needs him. That need kids at home that need their dad. He wants to be with us. He wants to keep spending his money on us because he was sharing his shit with us. So then he's home alone now. Lost his wife. Lost his kids. Now he's depressed. Then he loses his job. All within a matter of a year. I'm just like, fuck, dude. I told him, like, hey, fool, what's up, dog? Like, trust me, you don't want to be like me and my homie, dog. We're fucking losers. We're fucking bums. You don't want to be like this. I do not wish this on anybody. You need to get your shit together. I mean, who am I to be giving anybody advice on what to do with their life when I'm a piece of shit? But I'm seeing it happen. I'm seeing it unfold. I'm seeing his life come to crumbles right in front of me. And he's my friend. Like, I need to say something. He's like, I know, but I got it under control, big dog. I can handle my shit. I was like, I don't. Doesn't look very handled to me, dog. You're one of us now. You lost everything, fool. And then all of a sudden, his wife, a good wife, worries about her husband. They're still in love. His wife messaged me like, "Hey, have you seen my husband? Tell him to come home. Me and the kids miss him." I'm just like, fuck, that's fucked up. I don't know what my homie did with that information. But he didn't want to go home anymore. He didn't want to see his kids anymore because he would say, oh, I don't want my kids to see me like this. Like, dog, well, then fucking change. Then stop using drugs. He couldn't do it. He just couldn't stop using. Then all of a sudden, he's making deals with people he shouldn't be making deals with, just like I did. And I understood. And the fucked up part is that I understand every single fucked up decision that my homie made. And it's weird. It's weird when I do it, but it's more fucked up when I see somebody else doing it because I already know where it leads. And like I said, I don't want the life I live. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't want anybody to be a piece of shit like me. I don't want that. And I see him, he starts making deals with gang members from the hood, and I'm just like, fuck, dog. And all of a sudden, he's doing hollers with the homies from the hood, and I'm like, fuck. And I'd hit up like a connect from the hood, one of the gang members that I'm like cool with, and my homie happens to be there, and I'm just like, fuck, come on, B, what are you doing with yourself, fool? And then he's going on missions, dog, but doing crimes with them, dog, and I'm just like, come on, like just seeing his shit get so fucked up. He got so wrapped in addiction that he was willing to do whatever he had to do to get high. Everything that he did was because he wanted to get the fucking bolsita. That's it. Getting involved in crimes, getting involved with gang members, doing fucking hollers, doing fucking deliveries. It's all because he wanted to smoke. Not giving a fuck about his family was the excuse that he used and the motivation that he used to keep on using because he wanted to numb the pain. Instead of fixing the issues like any logical person would, wanted to numb the pain like the rest of us. We all had an excuse of why we tweak and why we drink. So my homie starts going into all that fucking bullshit, right? Next thing you know, he's walking around strapped. Come on, dog. Really? Now your paranoia of all the bullshit you're doing is getting to you. Now you're going to be walking around strapped? Come on, dog. You're not about that life, dog. You don't have to be about that life. I knew you as a family man, as a hardworking man. Like, look where you've gone. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having protection for yourself if you're doing the right things in life. But having a gun on you because you're scared of some things that you did and it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, it's different. I see my homie start off with a brand new car. He let his car go to shit. He would get overheated on the freeway. He didn't have money to fix it. I never had $5 to kick in for gas either. So don't, you know what I mean? Like, let's get this straight. I was bumming it the whole time. He was the one with the car. He's the one doing all the issues. But I seen it. He couldn't fix his car. Couldn't put gas in the car. Couldn't do this. Couldn't do that anymore. Couldn't go home. Now he's living with his parents. And I remember he never wanted any of us to know where his parents lived. Then all of a sudden I hear that one of my boys is over there. I'm like, what? I was like, hey, what's up, fool? You took the homie over there to your pad? He's like, yeah, fool, but it was just a one-time thing. Like, I don't want to burn out my spot. Okay, cool. Next thing I know, I hit him up that I had some stuff, like one of those fucking milagros, once in a while things that I'm actually holding. He'd be like, hey, boss, let's go to my pad, fool. And I'm like, let's go. And all of a sudden, it was just an open invitation to go to his pad all the time, and we're always there in his room, but we had to be quiet, and because and we would just get stuck right there and play Xbox, and it was so messed up that we would just do nothing with our lives. And it was so sad to see him lose his life to addiction. I didn't want that for him. He didn't deserve it, but he got lost with us, and I feel like in some small way that it was also my fault because I was there. I encouraged it. He did everything he could to not be responsible. He did everything he could to not want to fix his lifestyle of just being a normal person. And my homie B ended up fucking up so bad, people were looking for him. He ended up becoming one of the most outrageous, violent persons that I've ever known. Started with his wife. I have no idea what he did to his kids, and I hope he never laid a finger on them. But he used to physically abuse his wife due to him coming down. See, when motherfuckers come down, they get emotional. Any little noise will annoy them. You try to tell them something and it just pisses them off and they see red and they just want to fuck some shit up. And they do it to people who they know they could get away with it. He knows his wife is not going to defend herself. He knows his wife is not going to call the police. But the best thing that happened was one day he got arrested. Went to prison. He came out a different man for a while. until he started using again. And then again, I don't know how he did it, but he convinced his wife to get back with him, bring the kids around, and the physical abuse started again, beating his wife up. But this time, the wife smartened up, called the cops. Homie went to jail. And I don't know what happened after that. That was the last time we ever talked. Now, the vision I have of my friend from being a hardworking man and a family man went all the way down to him being a wife beater and a piece of shit. That's not what I want for anybody in this lifestyle. That's not what I want any drug addict or alcoholic to end up as. That's the lowest of the low. But it's so fucked up how we end up living our lives at the end. Some of us are lucky enough to get sober and get clean and get the help that we need. It takes a lot of balls, takes a lot of work to get sober, but we do recover. It's possible. So to my homie B, if you're ever out there, if you ever run across this fucking video, saludos, much love and respect, dog. I hope you're doing a lot better these days.